Hey, what's happening? Mr. J here again. We're going to look at division this time, and it's going to be very similar to multiplication. In fact, we're going to use an array, and we're going to take advantage of that distributive property. If you don't remember what that means, go back and check the multiplication video. But basically, it means you're splitting up numbers. So let's take a look at one that's pretty easy and doesn't have any remainders. So 125 divided by 5, which, in the textbook it usually looks like that. But it's the same difference. We're trying to see how many fives we can fit inside 125. Or you can think about it the other way. If you split up 125 into bits of 5, how many bits are there? So let's take a look at an example. So we're going to take advantage of that distributive property again. So I can kind of think of it like this way. Instead of doing 125, I can kind of think of numbers that I know. So you might know how many fives go into 125. Or maybe you think I know how many fives go into 100, or certainly I hope you think I know how many fives go into 50. So let's kind of break it up like that. I'm going to turn this 125 into 50, 50, and 25 because I still have all my 125 accounted for. And then I just sort of think, okay, well, how many fives go into 50? That's 10. And how many fives go into this 50? That's 10. And how many fives go into 25? Well, that's 5. And so my answer is 25. So that's kind of the bare bones of it, but it's sort of hard to keep track of. So we're going to flip it around and use that array because it works so well for multiplication. Most of you guys seem to like it. So I build my array with my fancy, neat handwriting. And I'm actually still going to use the multiplication symbol because I'm actually still going to multiply here. I'm going to put my 5 anywhere I want. I'll put it on, well, let's put it on the side for this time. So I'm going to leave my 5 alone. And now my goal is that inside this space, I need to build up to my 125. In other words, I'm asking, what times 5 or 5 times what is going to give me 125, which makes sense because we're flipping this around. Just like we know, 7 plus 3 is 10, while 10 take away 7 is 3, or 10 take away 3 is 7. These are, related facts. I guess we should put the fourth one there as well. Okay, well, the same is true for multiplication and division. So 7 times 3 is 21, and 3 times 7, is 21. And then the same is true with division. So if I flip it and say 21 divided by 3 is 7, and 21 divided by 7 is 3. So since we know these facts are true, we can use the same here. So, we know the answer is going to be 25, but if we didn't, we're basically saying how many 5s fit in 125, or basically 5 times what is 125. So now we're going to figure it out using our array. So 5 times something, and maybe you do know that 5 times 20 is 100 because you're thinking about nickels, and if you get 20 nickels, you get 100, but maybe you don't. So let's use that 10 again, because that's a pretty easy fact most people know, is that 5 times 10 is 50, and it's pretty nice to work with tens. So I'm only at 50. I need to get 125. Not even close. If I do another 50, I'll be at 100, so let's do it. And now I'm up, and sometimes kids like to kind of keep track as they go. And you can even cross them out, that way you won't count them twice. So I'm at 100 so far, and I've gone up 10 and 10, or 20 in total. I need to get 25, and that's a pretty obvious jump. 5 times 5 is 25, and there I've got my 125. So now I know the answer of how many 5s fit in 125. It's 10 plus 10 plus 5 equals 25. Now, of course, we already knew that, so it wasn't as sunny and exciting as we thought. Well, let's try with a little bit harder numbers. Let's try even adding a remainder this time. So let's go 5 into 127, or 127 divided by 5. So we know there's going to be a remainder here. So let's see what happens. Let's see if the array is going to take care of that. I mean, spoiler alert, it is. I wouldn't be showing it to you. But I'm going to do the same strategy. So again, I'm going to go 5 here. You can put it in the top, doesn't matter. And I'm going to build up to the 127. Well, this time I'm going to go by 20, just save a little time in the video here, because I know that 25s, or 20 nickels, gives me $1, so 5 times 20 is 100. Now I'm trying to get to 127. I'm not there yet. Let's add on 5. That'll get me to 25. And cross those out and build my 125. Now I need to get to 127. If I add another 5, let's pretend I'm going to do it. If I add another 5, it's going to be another 25. It'll be way too big. If I added another 1, I'd be at 130. That's still too big, so I can't get there. So I'm at 125. I'm trying to get to 127. Since I can't do it, I'm missing 2. That's my remainder. So my answer is 25, and my remainder is 2 because I couldn't get there. I mean, I can show it another way. 127 take away 125 because we were trying to get to 127. We couldn't. We got to 125, and the answer to that, of course, is 2. So my answer is 25, remainder 2. So the array is going to take care of remainders. Let's try a bigger one. Let's just pick some numbers of the air here. Let's go with, I don't know, 320, and let's divide that by 20. Let's go 26 this time. So what's that going to equal? I don't know. Let's find out. So again, I'm going to build my array. Now, you can choose what to do. You could turn this into 25 and 1. I'm going to actually just leave it alone. I'm going to leave the 26. 26, not so bad. I'm going to leave it alone. You could break it into 20 and 6, or 23 and 3, or 25 and 1. You could do whatever you want, but I'm going to leave it. Now, I'm trying to build up to 320, so when all this adds up, I want to make sure it equals 320, or as close as I can get without going over. So here I go. Well, 26, I'm not very good at my 26 multiplication table. Maybe you are. But I do know if I multiply it by 10, I'm going to get 26 tens, or 260. And that's like, I'm pretty close already. Now, if I add another 10, I'm obviously going to be way too high. I'm going to be over 500. So I can add another 10. What else does 26 multiply by? I don't know. I'm going to go by 2. Because I know that's going to give me 52, and I'm getting probably closer. Let's find out if I add those together. I mean, 26 plus 52. Well, 26 plus 40 will get me all the way to 300, and then I just need to take care of the 12, so I'm at 312. I've taken care of that so far, and I'm actually pretty close. If I went another 26, I'm not going to, but let's pretend I did. It'd be another 26, and I'd be at 330 something. I'd be too high. So I'd be too high. So I can't do it. I can't add another one. And if you accidentally did, that's fine. Just wipe it out after. So I got to 312, which is pretty good. And that's probably as far as I can get without going over. So now I know my answer. My answer is 10 plus 2 is 12. So my answer is 12. That's how many times 26 is going to fit into 312. I couldn't get to 320, so I need to make sure I take care of that remainder, which is 8. So I found the answer. The answer to how many 26 fit into 320 is 12 with a remainder of 8, or I could say it the other way. So hopefully that is a strategy that works for you. It basically kind of takes the division out of it and sort of brings in the multiplication, which most kids are better at, but it's still treating the numbers properly, unlike the standard algorithm, which treats a 9 as a 9 when it's actually 900. I'm still treating all my numbers as their proper value, so this is a strategy I like. Try it out, see what you think.